Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday to all you beautiful people out there. My name is SonjaMarie. What is happening? Today is Friday, Freestyle Friday. I'm so happy to be here with y'all today. I didn't let the day get away with me and decided to jump on here for at least a couple of minutes to show my beautiful face and to allow Spirit to speak on this Freestyle Friday in whatever format we want it to be. And that's me, you, Spirit, your ancestors, and however we gonna ride in this time. I'm so glad that you can be here or coming to see me after the fact. I appreciate that. Meaning if you are catching me not live and this is a recording, hello. I pray that your weekend goes really, really well. And again, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, please do so. If this information resonates with you, hit the like button, share with your friends, do what we do over here on YouTube. You know what I mean? To grow this channel, I'd really appreciate if you can send a donation via Venmo, and Payvu. Via Venmo and PayPal and Cash App. I greatly appreciate it if you can utilize the links below in the description box and give people a little bit of time to come on through as they are being notified. Let me give you an announcement or two. I said I wasn't going to say this again, but there are 2 spots still available for our 6th annual Wordlife Astrology Retreat. Slide on in there if you can by the end of this month. Please visit my website at wordlifeastrology.com to get the particulars. It's going to be a blast. That's all I'm going to say. So much so, I've been kind of bragging about this low key. I'm preparing so much sooner than I usually do, which means I'm really excited on some level to get this thing going. And then also we are going in July instead of September or October. So I do want to make sure that things are ordered and things are in proper alignment for us to have a really great time that's organized and, going smoothly in the way that we need to. So we're going to Costa Rica for 5 nights, 6 days. And it's just going to be a blast. It's a group of 20 of us right now. If 2 more people jump on, it'll be 22. And we have yoga workshops, astrology workshops. There's an awesome meditation workshop that we're going to do. There's a great excursion. There's just so much that's going on with good ass food, 3 meals a day, beautiful space to stay. Again, all this information is on my website. So go and check it out. Also, I'd love for you to come if you want to come. Also, I'm throwing out there an Eclipse reading special. Yep, because I kind of got the hit that we should do this thing a couple of weeks back. And I think I was speaking out loud when I was on here saying, I think I should do an Eclipse reading special. And it landed. So yesterday, that's what we're going to do. And listen, the fee is lower than I've ever charged, to be quite honest with you, because I just got the hit to give them enough that they can go on and see what this eclipse is about, but not so much that I feel depleted and the energy is not exchanged. You dig? So at 188, that's $188. Don't ask me how that number came to me, but I kept seeing 188. 188 for 60 minutes. I will assist by showing you where the eclipse for this April 20th new moon eclipse in Aries is going to land in your chart. If given a little bit of time, because that's just Sonja and who I am, I'm going to slide in some other information too within that 60 minutes, as much as that 60 minutes would hold. So we're definitely going to talk about the eclipse, but if your grandmother, your grandfather, somebody slips through and we need to channel, then that's what we're going to do. If we need to talk about the other eclipses that's happening this year, that's what we're going to do. But the main focus is the April 20th eclipse. You know why? Because it is really wonderfully aspected to Jupiter. So not only is a new moon eclipse, new moon, new ideas, new opportunities, new things, in an eclipse kind of style, shake up I'm going to do it whether you want me to or not kind of feel. That's what eclipses are about. They like pull the rug from underneath your toes, so to speak. And they said, nope, we are moving this way. This is the new things that's starting. So get on board. And it's an Aries energy, which means it's happening quick, fast, with a vigor that you absolutely may not be able to comprehend because it's moving so quickly, because it's so out the gate. You know what I mean? Like fresh out the gate, so to speak. And that feeling like this is the moment in which we're starting our new lives for real. New moon eclipse in Aries aspected prominently and positively by Jupiter, the planet of gifts and blessings and skittles and rewards and over exaggeration of things. Come on now. That we got to see where that lands in our particular chart and what we should be on the lookout for. Remember, eclipses hit you, that energy, it hits you 2 weeks prior to the eclipse. So we could be feeling these changes now in your life in some way. 2 weeks after the eclipse, and remember, it's on 420, right? 420. 2 weeks after the absolute eclipse, or 6 months later, because it depends on the geometry and the degrees in the sky. You dig what I'm saying? So we have some time, if it hasn't happened already, have some time to see how and where it will land specifically in your chart. Here's the deal, though. If you do activate this reading or take advantage of this reading special, 60 minutes for 188, the link is in the description box below. Or if you're on Instagram and you can multitask and you want to schedule right now, you can go to Instagram to my links in my bio, and the link is there. So what we're going to do, basically what oh God, I just lost my train of thought. Why do I do that so often? Is it the hormones? What the heck? Basically, we're going to do this reading special and talk about what's happening in this eclipse. I don't know where I left off, y'all, to be truthful with you. It'll come back if it should, if it could, if it needs to. But we're going to talk about other stuff too. I don't know what I was about to say. Sign up. Get on it. 188 for 60 minutes. Again, trying to fish for it. It's not coming. But yeah. Oh, by the way, this eclipse special will go on until the end of April. That's it. The end of April. We want to know, it's trying to come back. We want to know where it's going to land in your chart, because there we go. Because we want to be able to see and at least be aware of the changes that are happening around us, so we're not blocking them. This is my real reason for making us aware and educating us about ourselves. Because oftentimes, and y'all know this, oftentimes we are our own enemy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we are so programmed to self-sabotage. We are so programmed to all of a sudden, when things become a little overwhelming and a little hairy, we revert back to the way our parents used to handle chaos or used to handle challenges. It may not even be us. It just may be the way in which we, view a thing. Like sometimes, especially for water signs, and I want to make mention of this real quick. But those, if I'm squirreling out, y'all just rock with me. But we especially for water signs that are sun signs, or on our rising, or on our moon for that matter, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, sun, moon, or rise, is that sometimes we can pick up on other people's ways. We pick up on their emotions. We pick up on their ways of handling our emotions sometimes, and we get it misconstrued. So sometimes if we see where these eclipses, where these prominent changes are being made, we can absolutely pinpoint whether we're sabotaging ourselves by doing the things that we usually do in order to let these blessings come through, or am I allowing it to come through? The bottom line is this, is that in order to change, in order to move forward, we have to recognize clearly and to the exact moment where we come in to destroy our own progress and our own success. That's my reasons for offering this up. To be honest with you, this reading special and doing what I'm doing, because the more education we have in regards to energy, in regards to astrology, in regards to who we are, the better we can move forward. And we have a conscious, almost in quotes, controlled ability to lead our lives where we wanted to lead, because we co-create this existence, us and spirit. You get what I'm saying? Most of us, especially being led by Jesus, I'm on a soapbox and I'm squirreling out. Just rock with me. I'll get with y'all in a minute. But most of us are said that we're going to sit back and we're going to give it to Jesus. We're going to give it to God. And whatever God decides for us to do, this is what we're going to do. It's the absolute truth, 50% of it. 50% of it, because God and our ancestors and our guides can see exactly what it is that we need to do in our lifetimes. That's why I help. That's why they channel through. That's the reason, or I said, that's the way, I should say, that's the way I help, is by channeling what they're saying. But then they say, yo, I'm not going to push you on the court, cuz I'm not going to put the ball in your hand, move your left and your right feet. You understand what I'm saying? In order for you to dribble down the court and put it in the goddamn basket. I'm just going to tell you, we at the basketball court. I'm just going to tell you the clock is going down. I'm just going to tell you this is spirit and your ancestors. I'm just going to tell you these are the tools and these are the areas in which you can improve. You got to get on the court. So I do these reading specials. I do this particular broadcast because I want us to know what's our responsibility on the court of life. You dig? I'm moving on and I'm rambling too much. Let me say hello to everybody. What's going on, Brianna? How you doing, Alicia? I saw you here straight and foremost. What up, Ty? Sue Bang. Tracy is here and Sweet Tea is here. DB's, how you doing on this Friday? Where you at, girl? On the beach. Kimberly is here. Giselle, sweet Cancer. Hi, Miss Reese. 63. What up, Yaya? And Camasita Perez. She is here. She said she still don't have a time of birth. Oh, that's what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. Oh, my God. Oh, Camasita, God bless your soul. That's what I was going to say about the eclipse readings. I thought that what I said was what I was about to say, but it goes back to that. We need your time of birth if you want to do the eclipse reading special. Why? Because I really like to see, without telling you information and opening up a book to give you our workshop right now. The time of birth is important to see where that eclipse falls in your chart. Which house does it fall? So that house is the area of activation in which the new beginnings in an eclipse style kind of way, and Jupiter riding right alongside it because they're both in Aries, right? Sitting, what house is sitting in order to be activated. So if you don't have your time of birth, Kamasita, maybe you can go to the city hall in which you were born. Sometimes they have them electronically. And honestly, sometimes it's kind of lost in the source, especially those that are born on an island or born in a third world country or born before 1960, or even 1970 for that matter. Sometimes they lose records. So I just want to say it like that. And thank you for bringing me back to one on that one more time. So yes, jump on this eclipse special reading. The link is in the description box below. Again, it only goes to the end of April. That's April 30th, right? Hi, Ramon. So jump on that thing. Let's make that happen. Okay. Now that little fog just went away. That was weird. What y'all want to talk about today? This is what I was told to kind of tap into. Thank y'all for being here, by the way. I really, really appreciate you. 25 people with 11 thumbs up. Thank you. Maybe I can ask a family member for her time. Yeah, Susan, you're right. A family member may have her time of birth as well. And sometimes that's a little hairy because it depends on who you ask. I'm trying to be funny in the moment, but I was gonna say it depends if they was drunk or not when you was coming through. No, I'm just joking. Was it during the morning time? Was it during the afternoon, through the evening? And yes, we can kind of guesstimate too, give or take a couple of hours to see where it would land. So thank you for saying that, Sue. You can absolutely ask somebody else in your family or somebody who may know around about the time, at least afternoon, morning, evening, and we can figure it out from there. Thanks again, Sue. Bang, bang, bada bang, bada bang, bada bang. Okay. Well, there you go, Carmesita. Before lunch, we can figure it out. Before lunch, after 6 a.m., we can figure it out. Hit me up. I really want to get into truly what I was told earlier and what I heard was to get into a conversation that me and a good friend of mine had last night about cocooning. And then I want to read a couple of people, and then I'm going to read a card and just go on out. All right. So if you have your greetings, Mrs. Kimberlite, if you have your sun, moon, and rising, almost get ready almost in a little bit. I'm going to ask you, and then we can do a read. Okay. All right. Cocooning. This is kind of on the lines of what we talked about on Monday. If you didn't see my weekly rundown on Monday, this information will be new to you. If not, I'm going to ride along adjacent to that thought that we gave on Monday about being lonely versus alone. And then last night in this conversation I had with my girl, we broke it down to cocooning, but I like to take it one more level down in a sense, or over, or an additional level when it comes to being compassionate about those that are cocooning. We are all kind of in a space on some level or not. Okay, people are leaving, friends are being adjusted and readjusted. Our relationship with our families are being adjusted and readjusted. We're spending more time with ourselves, either within the house, or even if we have to be outside, maybe you're a little bit more quiet than you normally are. And this is all, in my opinion, the definition of cocooning, going inside, right? Going inside and absolutely on some level recognizing what it is you want, recognizing what it is you're willing to tolerate within yourself first and foremost, and with other people. Let's start with ourselves. Like, do I no longer want this particular habit? If I want to level up on X, Y, and Z, then I got to get rid of A, B, C. And a lot of us are not willing to get rid of A, B, C. Example, for damn reason, you know that when you eat too many cookies, it's not that you gain 5 pounds here, 10 pounds there. You get a little itch in the back of your neck, or your brain gets a little foggy, or the words can't come out the way you need to. You cannot produce and or walk this planet and be engaged in your optimum level. Yes, y'all. Please put your hands up or agree on in some kind of way. Does that fuck you up? Here's the question again. When you are doing those things, again, to self-sabotage is the reason why I'm offering up these readings, to self-sabotage, consciously or subconsciously, right? To go to the next level. Like, we want to be able to stay. And I'm sure I made mention of this in other videos, but it's worth repeating, y'all, because we need to be reminded of the mediocrity that we push ourselves into, that we literally, elect to go into. Why? Because we're scared. Why? Because we really don't want to be alone. We don't want to have nobody to talk to. You understand what I'm saying? So we're cocooning in a way in which, one thing, we're setting up for ourselves. Like, what are the things as I'm cocooning, as I'm staying inside, as I'm not speaking a lot to people and telling them my dreams and my aspirations and my fuck ups and the fact that I ran into dude or I did this or right? I'm not letting out and leaking a lot of energy out. That's the key word. When it comes to cocooning, we're finding out several things. I'll list a few that I have on my mind, but it's really about the cocooning is not necessarily other people getting their shit on us, although that's part of it. It's about us leaking our stuff on other people. Oftentimes when we're in a space where we can be quiet and we can see, all right, these are the things that I do, and this shit ain't really, really fly. This is not fly at all. As I'm quiet, I understand. I can hear the murmuring going on in my head, saying the things or feeling the energy that I want to displace on other people, which are not necessarily fair. It's not warranted. It's not necessary. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on to your energy. When you cocoon, you hold on to your own shit to big you up, to strengthen you, to nourish you, or to say, honestly, Sonja, do we need to say that? Oftentimes I go through verbal fasts, and it's about that. All day, I don't say shit to nobody to see how much other people are talking shit and shit that they don't need to say, and how much honestly was going on in my mind and my brain in which I don't need to leak out. I pay attention to what it is that I'm saying and what I'm not saying, is my point. We are cocooning in a space right now so we can, number one, stop self-sabotaging. We can see the habits and the things that we know we need to drop off and or add to us. Too much sugar, too much drinking, too much smoking, too much fucking around with the wrong person. You understand what I'm saying? Too much dismissive attitude or actions. You dig what I mean? Here's another thing too, is that oftentimes when we cocoon, this is what scares us, right? Is that we don't see the areas, or I should say, take that back. We start to see the areas in which we need to correct. Now, that might sound like what I just said, but what I really mean is that we need to address some things. Have you been putting things underneath the rug for the last couple of years? Have you wanted to have that very, very pointed conversation with your best friend, with your boss, with your mother? Like truly, truly, truly. And if you don't, what's happening is like pipes burst, literal or not, or like situation seeps out, aroma seeps out, your foundation starts to crumble, things around you start to get weak. Do y'all see the visual? If we're not paying attention, as we're cocooning, if we're not paying attention to all the shifts of the structures that are going on around us, is what Nicole and I was talking about last night. If you're not paying into the structures that are crumbling in on you, you understand what I'm saying? What needs to literally go for you to build another foundation? You're going to have a problem in this new space and time, in this new age. Does that make sense, y'all? Or am I just speaking out my ass? So y'all paying attention? Am I repeating too much? Like, talk to me. Thank you for the yes, y'all. Y'all know I get a little weirded out by this one-sided mirror here, and it just bugs me out sometimes, but I wanted to see if y'all there. You get what I'm saying? Okay, yes, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate that. Spirit has been on me like a stalker, Carmesita said. Blinders are off and I'm fugly sometimes. I get it. We got to be. This is the meat. This is the meat, y'all. Again, the bottleneck, the meat. This is the space where we get our freaking muscles going. Like, this is it. I'm so happy for this place in our lives right now. And honestly, again, let me reiterate if I didn't say the full sentence. This is not personal. This is not personal. If you're that type of person, honestly, that's sitting back right now, and you can think of one person that hasn't called you or reached out to you or put their energy on you in the way in which they did before. You understand what I'm saying? Or didn't get, or they're not giving of their heart, their time, their soul, their money, you know, their hairstyling techniques, their secrets about, you know, the men that they're with, or I don't know, whatever it is that you're used to and you expect for certain people to impart on you via entertainment or necessity for you to grow. If that's not happening anymore, it ain't personal. People are cocooning because they're checking out their damn selves. People are cocooning because they're tired of tripping over their own feet. People are cocooning because we have seen ourselves as our own enemy, and we're tired. We're tired of the same excuses and justifications that's coming over and over and over again. So when you cocoon, when you get tired, when you get quiet, when you shut people out temporarily and say, hold on for a minute, I can't give you half of my heart right now because I need my whole heart for me. Not that I don't want to have a conversation with you. Not that I don't want to see what's going on with you, make sure you're alive, help you out, come cook dinner for you, or whatever the case may be. We're talking about energy release. As much as I utilize these simple words, I really want y'all to feel that thing. You ever felt somebody coming in hot, like I suggested on Monday? When people just come in hot. Like, can we just, I need you you didn't call me back. What's going on? Where you been? Like, yo, relax. We are all going through it, and so are you. And oftentimes when people coming in hot looking for your energy like that, they have a hard time going inside and cocooning for themselves and finding their own strength. Find your strength within that cocoon so we can get to a point where we know exactly what it is that we're doing in the next couple of years or whatever, because now we're coming out stronger. Now we've spent time to cocoon so we can build a solid foundation. If we try to come out right now, which we were talking about last night, we try to come out right now, the foundation will fall. I need a moment to make sure I got all the nuts and the bolts in this platform. Because once I start building on this shit, it's done, it's over. And I may look like a new person. I may say some new shit. And that's possible. Why? Because a lot of the things I used to say yesterday and years ago, I don't want to say no more. I don't want to have those conversations any longer. I'm not sitting here trying to, oh, my mother did this, my father did. I'm not putting blame on people. I'm not sitting here excusing my actions, their actions, gaslighting myself, gaslighting them, like manipulating the scene anymore. All of these weird ass, immature, emotional tactics gotta go. And call a thing a thing. Y'all are smart. Y'all know when y'all are manipulating the scene for your own benefit. You know when you hear truth and then you set situations up so it looks like I'm just listening to what it is I'm listening to. It's not about truth. It's what I need. You ever been around somebody like that? Well, you telling them the truth. I'm telling you, ask me a question. You asked me, where did I get the rice bowl from? I got the rice bowl from the freaking Jamaican spot on 6th Avenue. No, you couldn't have got it from the Jamaican spot on 6th Avenue because they burned down. I'm telling you, cuz I got the rice bowl from, from the Jamaican spot on 6th Avenue. It can't be. And they're literally hearing you say the truth. This is on all levels. Y'all with me right now? Yeah, they literally hearing you saying the truth of the thing that you know, the truth that you know. But they're switching it in their mind because it's an impossibility to them. Don't argue with people like that. And stop putting your truth on them. Because what happens is now you're leaking. Now you're giving the energy. Now you're giving of your energy to them to convince them of something that they don't want to see. No, it's on 6th Avenue, cuz they probably built another store that I don't know nothing about, but I know where I was. 6th Avenue. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know I'm going all around the world today, y'all, but I really, really pray that y'all are following me. I'm squirreling like a motherfucker today. Please ask questions because Freestyles Fridays is about that. Ask as many questions as you want, please, and very please. Let me go to some of these comments to see if y'all are with me. Tracy Jackson says, newness is uncomfortable. Newness, transformation is unfamiliar. It's all necessary. And will is happening and happen. Yep, it's going down. It's going down, clown. It's the newness of it all. But again, it's not personal. It's not personal. And listen to what's being said as opposed to my point just now. Listen to what's being said as opposed to the truth that you want to hear to make you comfortable, Tracy. Not saying you're doing this, baby, but people do that. You dig what I'm saying? The truth comes at them and they get uncomfortable and they don't want to hear what the truth is. Or I should say the truth that can assist them in that moment or the truth that they're resonating with, because my truth ain't for everybody else. Your truth ain't for everybody else. But when you resonate with it and when you become uncomfortable, possibly it is your truth trying to slide into places that you haven't erected yet. Is that a possibility? Why are you fighting it? Because it's uncomfortable? Allow it in and see what happens. It ain't going to kill you. Does that make sense? Don't listen to what you want to hear just to keep you comfortable. I said what I said. It's on 6th Avenue. Oh my God, you're killing me right now. Okay. And you may not want the rice bowl then. You may not just want the rice bowl, right? Because you keep fighting me on the goddamn rice bowl and where it's at. I'm just saying. Rabbi Rob, what's happening with you, brother? Was just having this conversation with my spirit regarding some things and people this morning. I'm trying to tell you. Did you hear what I said? I said what I said. Ooh. Anyway, the cocooning process is bringing all of this up for people. And again, it seems like we're either lonely or we're alone. I opt for the former, the latter rather. Be alone. Just cocoon and be alone. We don't have to be lonely in this. Because on some level, if we resonate with the loneliness, we resonate with eventually depression, but initially we resonate with desperation. We resonate with the need to stay in this mediocrity, with the need to stay in those places and spaces that we use, how we used to react and what we used to do and the habits that we used to have. We're holding on to those things like crack and shit. Oh my God, I'm stressed out. I need some crack. Oh my God, he stepped on my toe. I need some crack. Oh my God, no. When you feel that feeling, do something different. When you feel yourself sliding into a habit, into a formation, into a personality characteristic that you know that is really not helping you, stop and do something different. We got to live this thing now. We have to make these choices while we're in this cocoon. This is the moment to do it. This is our strengthening techniques. Does this make sense, y'all? Yes, y'all. The old is not working. You need a new perspective to create change within. Yes. And I know I'm not telling y'all different, Karmasita. I mean, I know this is not a new concept. Again, if somebody probably came in here and was like, she's saying some shit we all know. Yeah, I am. But isn't it worth repeating and reminding on some level to keep you going? Because as human beings, we slip into that. Don't fucking front me. Like, don't front me and tell me in like 2 hours somebody's going to hurt your feeling based on the same things that I'm saying right now. Because you feel lonely. They didn't come to your aid the way they used to. Now your feelings are hurt. Maybe they got something going on. Stop holding on to people and get strong in the spaces and places that you're in. God gave you every tool necessary in order to do this thing by yourself in a way in which you can change you. Does that make sense? All right. I mean, it is about being stuck on stupid, but stupid is I don't want to come Karmasita says sometimes it's about being stuck on stupid. And I get what you mean from that perspective. It's not literal, right? Not literal being stupid. But I would ask that we would be kinder to ourselves, right? That we would say, you know, it's a reason why, again, as I alluded to earlier, why we slide back into these habits, because we were taught it. And because everybody in the crew does it. Everybody manipulates. I have one friend that comes over every single time and gives gifts. And then the next day, she's asking for a shitload of information about astrology, or she needs a shitload of shit done because she thinks in her mind that I gave you the payment the day before. I gave you gifts. That's manipulation. You don't give gifts for the sake of getting something later. These are habits that we are very, very, very unconscious of at times. I'm asking you to point out real things about yourself that you have to call out on yourself. I'm not here to just repeat information for the sake of me to sound redundant. I can get off of this shit. I don't get paid for this. And I'm being straight up New York right now. I want us to dig deeper with it. Call yourself out, man, in this cocoon stage. Does that make sense? Are y'all hearing? Yep. Right? Okay. Any questions? Because I feel like if I continue to go on and 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 on, I'm really going to sound like a broken record. Activate what's going on right now. This is a big part of it. That Venus sextile in Neptune and the moon trine Mars. That Venus sextile in Neptune is bringing value to what it is that we feel in those elusive, illusionary spaces. Bringing value to that thing. Allowing us to see, like, for real, I need to love myself in this Neptunian space of spirit, of not necessarily always understanding, of the cocoon. Neptune is absolutely the fucking spiritual cocoon of all things. There's value, there's love, there's worth in there. I just need to seek it and pray on it and ask for it. And if sometimes these revelations look ugly and make me look like a crazy ass monster, or somebody who's manipulative, who gaslights, who uses people, oh, I got to see that shit because I don't want to do that anymore. You know why? Because when you do it, you attract people that do it. And then you want to be a victim? And then you want to go, oh my God, they try to manipulate me. Well, you did that the other day by giving Sonja all those fucking candy bars, knowing that you was going to call her the next day and ask her for a mini reading because I need help. That's manipulation. You hear what I'm saying? Whatever you doing and you putting out, you are absolutely getting back. Check yourself. That's why we have to check these ugly parts of us in our cocooning stage to change and rework, like rewiring the goddamn computer almost. Makes sense? You can't bitch about the next person doing the same thing to you. Why and how? How can you do that? That's some real fucking spit right there. Health issues are showing up for a lot of people. Yep, that's absolutely part of it, Karmasita. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Absolutely. Why? Because I always said this and been saying this for years. The body is the last to know, y'all. The body is the last to know. Shit is coming up in our health that we have been activated or that has been activated and that has been running amok for the last 5 years. Here's the post-COVID shit, the stress that's coming up in our blood system now, right? Taking us out in some weird MS, multiple sclerosis, some shit at 35 years old. How the fuck did you get that? You got some weird ass cancer of the spine at 53 years old. How the fuck did you get that? Because the body is the last to know. The body, the trine, the mind, body, and soul, it goes through this if people don't know. Because sometimes I feel like I speak in phrases and I assume and expect that you know the other part of my conversation because I don't want to sound redundant on this thing. But for the sake of giving the whole thought out, the mind, body, and the soul, the body is the last to know. It always hits the soul first and tells you, yo, you know, in those quiet spaces and places, I don't think you need to do no more. So what we do, fuck you. I ain't doing that. That's going to take too much work. That's going to get rid of all my friends. I have to stop smoking. I got to, you know, be broke for a little while. I'm not making them changes and them sacrifices. The spirit goes, okay. Then it goes to your mind, and your mind is like, I think the spirit was right. I think we need to alter some shit. I think we need to start new habits. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make you stop remembering certain things. You know, the brain's gonna go on tweak. I'm gonna make you tired when it comes to thinking about certain things. Y'all get where I'm going? And then you don't hear the mind alerting you of this. The mind is saying, I think I need for you to stop allowing us to run amok and do some meditations. You're like, fuck meditations. I got work to do. I got rent to pay. And all of a sudden, a couple of years later, the body's like, well, now I got the hit. Because you didn't listen to the soul and you didn't listen to the mind. We tried to give you warnings each and every time, but human beings are arrogant as fuck. We think we have the answers always. We think we can control things always. We think we can displace things and dismiss things and put shit under the rug always, and it'll just go away. Well, here's the deal. Sometimes it can, but most of the time it does not. And this is how we were taught. Generations before us, they had to deal with shit this way. They had no other choice. Who the fuck was they going to talk to? The master? And who was they going to talk to? Excuse me, I got a problem. You know, you hurt my feelings when you with my babies. The fuck? They don't give a fuck about that shit. Even if you was white and you was a shorty and you looking at your mother and father like, really? And we're just talking about our specific slice of history here in the United States. It's a whole lot of trauma all over the world in different instances. Imagine growing up in East India. You understand what I'm saying? Seeing poverty all your fucking life. That kind of trauma. You dig? Who do you talk to? Who do you talk to? So we got that shit. The fact that we didn't have to examine and or express anything in our DNAs, and it slides down in our DNA. But here's the deal. Right now, in this moment in time, we have luxury. This is the best time to be alive, don't you think? Because there's somebody that can listen. If it ain't your therapist, if it ain't your astrologer, if it's not your best friend or your man, it's somebody. If you don't have the luxury to a cocoon and kind of go to the spa or walk on the beach for free, you can find a way to heal and get through some shit. They didn't have that. We have luxury, y'all. I'm trying to snap us out of this, is my point. We may be depressed. We may find it hard. We may find these things and while we're cocooning to be too hard to swallow. But we have to, on some level, if we're going to go forward, we have the blessing to be able to do it. Okay. I'm hype. I'm passionate as hell. I'm very, very passionate, as you can tell. Right? It's just that thing. With some, please crop the first part of this and send it to me to share on Instagram. What the fuck? Sweet Tea, you are funny. Y'all get this? With the full moon in Libra, how does that play into this? Oh, y'all got some good questions and comments. I love it. Well, we was talking about this on Monday. Monday, Tracy. It's absolutely that partnership thing, right? It's that mirror reflection. You know, we've been taught the other part of the lesson is that if you don't know who you are, listen to the people that are surround you. They can tell you who you are. I have a hard time with that. I'm gonna be really, really truthful. Maybe because I'm Cancer, my decade in a Scorpio, and there's a part of me that doesn't trust that action. But I understand what this person meant when they said that sometimes people can see a certain part of you that you can't see. But you got to be very, 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 very careful with that, because it depends on who's telling you what it is that they see. Going back to your question, the idea of partnership, the idea of the full moon in Libra and its absolute need to leave, to eradicate, to adjust partnerships that act as a mirror to you. Are they helping or are they hurting? You dig? Did you get that, sweetie pie? Are they helping or are they hurting? This reflection, this mirror, this fair sense and of partnership that's being received and or given. Does that make sense? That's how that full moon in Libra plays into play. Plays into play. Ooh, Sonja is funny. But this is the other part today. Just talking about today. The moon is trining Mars. The moon is trining Mars. So maybe that's where my passion is coming from. The fact that the moon is in Scorpio, boom, and it's trining Mars and Cancer. Like, yeah, we need to go deep with this shit. It's necessary that we go deep with it. And Mars is saying as soon as we go deep, Mars being motivation and action, confrontation and fighting, Mars being sex too, right? And propulsion, right? As soon as we go deep, Mars and Cancer is like, we're going to take that shit and get the fuck up out of here. We're going to take it and we're going to garden it. We're going to take it and we're going to rebuild it. We're going to take it and move it in a Mars and Cancer-like kind of way to solidify and build on foundations that help us feel stronger emotionally. Why? Because the Mars and Cancer is an emotional space. But don't get it twisted. It's not just about crying and being angry and being sensitive, Mars and Cancer. It's about applying a foundation and moving in a way in which we can solidify strong foundations of emotional fortitude. Don't get it twisted. The only real reason, one of the real reasons that we are able to, as human beings, to ride this motherfucking planet is to emotionally be a surfboarder. You understand? Emotionally surf. We have to be able to take these changes as they come without taking it personal, without reacting, without cutting people off and being too extreme. You understand? Without judging ourselves. It's about looking for the next wave to come. Why am I going through this? Why am I going deep? Because the next wave is coming. I need this moment that I'm in to assist me of where I'm going. You get what I'm saying? That's another reason why we're feeling what we're feeling today. Mars, Tron, and the moon. This makes sense to y'all? Any questions? Any questions? Freestyle Fridays, Nick, Butler. I was talking about you. I don't know if you was on here in our conversation yesterday. You prompt this. We prompt this. And I was thinking like what to talk about and how to add this into what's going on today. And boom, this is it, sister. This is what we find out in these cocooning spaces. And again, it's not personal. It's not personal. If I'm not talking to you every single other day, you get what I mean? All right. Anybody have their Sunday, moon, their rise? Anybody have any questions, any clarity you want? Please, please, now is the time. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. 44 minutes. Sun, moon, and rise. If you want a and thank you, Tracy. I think that was you who brought up that mind, body, and soul situation. The body is feeling it. Literally, people's places are feeling it, like where you live, if it's coming apart, you know what I mean? Truly, now, I'm going to go out on the limb, and some of y'all are going to understand, and some of y'all are going to think I'm batshit crazy. But even our car is an extension of who we are. Y'all get that? Don't y'all feel new when you buy a new car? Now, I'm not saying, oh, I feel new, I feel fancy because it's a 2023 as opposed to a 2000. I'm not saying new in that regard. I'm saying new as an extension of your body. Don't you feel bodily new? Like I have a new vehicle. I have a new sense of motivation. Even our cars tell us. If our car is breaking down, if our car needs a wash, if our car, you get where I'm going, it's an extension of who we are and how we move on the planet, hence vehicle. So even our cars are breaking down. Even our cars are like, you know, telling us, look, the engine is like, like, what the fuck? I never heard that before. Yeah, there's some shit that's going on inside that you need to pay attention to. So pay attention to the ride. And while you're sitting there waiting for them to fix your shit, meditate on some shit. Like, how is that an extension of you? What's going on in the, is that your digestive system? You need some probiotics, bitch, before you get cancer of the belly? I know that's extreme, but that's real. That's where it starts. When you hold energy in your belly, when your probiotics are off, when your gut is all fucked up, and then all of a sudden you keep harboring energy in there. Next thing you know, in 5 years, you got some weird ass cancer. Are y'all hearing me? Extensions of us. How are the extensions of us while we're cocooning? Pay attention to the extensions of us that's telling the story. If you can't hear it while you're meditating and you're speaking too loudly, pay attention to what's going on around us. What does my house look like? What's my car look like? What's my dog saying? The dog is looking at you like, bitch, you good? You all right? Like, what's happening? Jump up on your lap and is in your face like, we need to call somebody? Are y'all hearing me? How clean your house is or not. Hear where I'm going, y'all. Pay attention. Okay. All right, that's it. How do I fully surrender to spirit? I've been doing the work for over 3 years, released a lot of fear, but still resisting a bit. I just want to trust I'm on the right path. Oh, Brianna. Oh, that's so sweet. You almost brought me to tears on that one, on some real shit. You know why? Because I'm going to get to the sun, the moon, and the rise in a minute, y'all. And by the way, Ty, that's not complete. You just gave me sun in Pisces and moon in Taurus. What's your rising, baby? Oh, I just see it right there. Okay, cool. Yes. Here's what I'm going to say to you, sweet lady. You doing it. That's one thing I think we need to do too, is trust the process that we're on. The fact that you have consciously and intentionally been on a releasing program, let's just call it, for the last 3 years, you on the road. Your questions may come up if you're doing it right or wrong. Your questions may come up because there's a little boredom. There's maybe you expect to do it in a different way. Maybe you're comparing yourself, and I don't mean to put you on blast or disrespect you in any way, to somebody else. You know what I mean? Maybe you are, maybe you think that spirituality 101 is not falling in the way in which you needed to fall. How about this? By the way, Squirrel, we talked about this last night too. Spirituality 101. It's not, no, me and Ananda was talking about this this morning. This spirituality 101, it's not a program. Brianna, you're doing it. That's all I want to say on that question and that situation, period. You're doing it. Because you know why? Everybody's program, everybody's way of releasing these fears, healing, moving on. And by the way, we don't never heal completely. We don't never, ever heal completely. It's a process, and it's like peeling the skin back on the onion. You know what I mean? And you start to live with certain things, but you absolutely dissolve and get rid of more things. You dig what I'm saying? Permanently, as much as possible. But the fact that you are doing it, you're doing it like you are in it. This spirituality one-on-one, and where everybody think that there's a process, there's a course you can take, there's a weekend retreat that you can go on. You understand what I'm saying? There's like a certificate that you're going to get at the end of the second eclipse when you turn around and do 5 circles and then stand on your head and light a fucking candle with a amethyst on your butt. Like, come on now. It's nothing of any of the sort. Everybody's process and movement is different. You get that? Everybody's process and movement is different. How you're called to do it, you hear it by getting quiet. How you're called to do it, you hear it by the thing that you most resist. How about that? The thing they always say this, the infamous they, your grandmother and everybody, that shit that you fear the most is the shit you're supposed to do. Because what do? Like, just take the analogy of cleaning our house. We'll clean everything for the most part. We'll clean, and it's not everybody, but for the most part, we clean everything that's easy first until we get to the goddamn bathtub. Is that everybody's story except or just me? My bathtub is huge. And I get to the bathtub at the end of it, and I'm like, God damn it, I don't want to clean the bathtub. I do everything in the house and then the bathtub because it's so goddamn big. And sometimes my back hurts and I got to reach over and clean it and lean and got boobs hanging over here and sweat dripping in the thing. And the dog is looking at me like, are you going crazy? Yes, I wish you can help me, goddamn it. Put some fucking rain shoes on and get in the tub and clean this. You understand what I'm saying? You resist what it is you're supposed to do the most. How about we feel our ancestors? How about we feel the strength of those beautiful, beautiful people that walked through woods, that got eaten by alligators, that got beaten with, that the people who, you know, even the Caucasians that are on here, those, like I said, who watch their people mistreat people, or whatever trauma that you went through. How about think about those people that went through a whole hell of a lot more than we are. Now, I'm not comparing and I'm not I am comparing, but I'm not minimizing what it is that we are going through because I know it's hard in its own right. However, I want you to muster up the same strength that it took them to run through motherfucking swamps, to run through the swamp of you. I want you to muster up the same strength and say, I'm not going to be eating out. I need to figure this out. Tears, bottles of wine, whatever the fuck you need to do to get through it in this cocoon stage. Make sense? I feel really, really passionate today, y'all. What you resist persists. Second time discussed this week, right? Is it? I'm just trying to say. All right. Let me do a couple of readings before I keep going on and on and on. And Ty, since you mentioned your situation, you have a sun in Pisces, a moon in Taurus, and a Libra rising. Wow, that's really, really interesting. Excuse me. And very, very balanced in some way, because you have everything but fire there, right? You got air, you have water, and you have earth, of course. Okay. So Libra rise, that Libra rising, again, remember your rising is what you put out there to the world. I always tease about Libra rising, people saying that they always get dressed. Actually, my mentor got me on this tip. Mama Nita used to say, Libra rising people always get dressed and go out in the world like they're about to catch a dude or catch a woman. Even if they're going to the store, they're like, wait, hold on, let me make sure my, because you never know who you're going to meet. That's that Libra rising, always in anticipation of their mirror, their reflection, meeting them in some kind of way. That's a lot of heat. That's a lot of, on some level, a lot of burden. You understand what I'm saying? Because that Libra rising, that Libra energy is trying to match what it is that they see as a partnership, oftentimes more than paying attention to what's going on inside, to allow their insides to find their match. Does that make sense? I'm going to put it on my outside, especially for you, sweetie pie, because it is the outside. It's not an internal positioning. It's something that our rising is something that we're not necessarily connected to all the time. I like to say it's a shade in the window. You can have it on or you can have it off. You dig what I mean? So the bottom line is that you're putting that aroma out there. How do I match the vibration of the people that are around me? By being more steadfast in who you are. That's the best way to be the best partner. Libra energy can oftentimes get lost in their partner because they're too busy trying to match the person with who they think they're supposed to show up as. Does that make sense? I hope y'all hearing me. Right? That Libra rise, oh, you said Pisces sun, and then that Pisces sun will go along for the goddamn ride. Whatever that Libra rise is doing, that Pisces sun is so much a shapeshifter. So much of just, I do what you tell me to do. I'm a chameleon. By the way, I ever tell y'all that Pisces and Leo and Capricorn, in my mind, are the best actors for 3 different reasons. Pisces can shapeshift and become anything you want it to be. That's their genius. Because that's how they passively, aggressively adjust to this particular world, this mean, harsh world that we live in oftentimes, that they just shapeshift and become what they're needed to be at the time in order to survive. Leos, obviously, because it's a creative source. They take anything and everything and perform. I'm going to put it right back in your face the way I see it. I'm going to stand up to it. I'm going to perform it. I'm going to put a little jazz on it and make you love me. Capricorn is different when it becomes a actor on some level. Why? Capricorn energy taps into the work and the discipline of inhabiting somebody else's form. Unlike Pisces, Pisces goes with the flow of it. Capricorn says, I'm going to study it. Does that make sense? I'm going to study it and I'm going to become that performer. You get that? So that Pisces energy has to be very, very careful about what it's shape-shifting oftentimes when it comes to that Libra energy attracting something that may or may not be you. And the Pisces got to figure it out. Is that you, boo-boo, or are you just shape-shifting? Ty, you hearing me through my words? And your moon in Taurus is really interesting like that, because that moon in Taurus bringing a whole nother dynamic. Is like, wait, hold on. Your moon in Taurus, I love the moon in Taurus. It is exalted in that way, in the fact that it adds calm to the fluctuating emotions of the moon. So your moon in Taurus is the superstar in this goddamn configuration, talking about this example of partnership, just staying along the full moon Libra energy and the fact that you got a Libra rising, right? That moon in Taurus is like, wait, let's calmly see what these people are coming to or coming as. But on the same note, once you recognize what it is, good, bad, or indifferent, once the Pisces says, okay, what this Libra rise is attracting may or may not be me, I don't know, I'm just going to go with the flow. You got to decide if it's real or not. Because once the moon in Taurus activates in some kind of emotional dedication, the moon in Taurus is a martyr and it goes down. Once it has figured out you're my person, good, bad, or indifferent, or fucking psycho killer, I'm going down with you. And the Pisces is still shape-shifting with the move. Are y'all hearing me? You want to read it, don't you? I know y'all want to read it. I just got on my little Leo soapbox with that shit because I was like, damn, that shit came out dope. If somebody was telling me that shit, I'd be like, bitch, I'm signing up for a reading. Eclipse special, $188 for an hour, man. In the description box below, hit the link and sign it up. It's only happening for the month of April. Y'all like how I parlayed that shit? I'm my own commercial. I'm my own marketing, promotions, goddamn freaking PR. I'm everything and everybody. I'm every woman. Y'all get that though? You get that though, Ty? Watch how you do that thing. But remember that you are Pisces and that you have the ability, the genius, the wisdom to tap in. You got the red fucking zone. You got the red phone to God. Being as intuitive as you are, so you can always tap into your ancestors and your guides and be like, is this really me? Hello? Hey, grandma, I just want to know, is this really me right now? Yeah, this is you. Okay, I just wanted to know because that Libra rise got me attracting fucking psycho killers, and my moon in Taurus got me like making breakfast for them in the morning every time. I'm just saying, check it. Because that Pisces energy is close to spirit. You can see. And if you stay in your elusiveness of not wanting to see because I want to shapeshift and I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings and I want to be passive aggressive about it, you're not tapping into them. You're not on the red phone. You get what I'm saying, Ty? Boom. All right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. That's it for you, young lady. I'm going to read one more person and then I'll get off this thing. Mary. She has a sun in Pisces too. All these Pisces people, moon in Scorpio and the Taurus rise. Now, look how interesting this proves to be, right? Mary Hill, you still here? There's Mary Hill. Mary, I've been giving somebody else your name. Another Mary. She's like, I'm not Mary Hill. I'm like, I thought you was. Mary, the sun in Pisces, moon in Scorpio, and that Taurus rise. Now, although Pisces and Scorpio absolutely agree with one another on most things and are vibrating on the same level because they are both water, right? In this configuration, the buddy system most of the times prove like a nice little flow. It's a nice alley-oop. Let's go with that analogy. Pisces being the sun, being who you are, almost always alley-oops to the moon in Scorpio saying, I am sensitive, I am a shapeshifter, but Scorpio, my moon, my emotions, how I react, I need to have a little bit of boundaries. Scorpio can give you those boundaries. I need to get a little deep every now and again. Scorpio can do that. I need to be a little progressive, or I should say determined. That's the real word I wanted to use. I can be a little determined. Scorpio moon says, yeah, I got you for that. Those are the ways in which they alley-oop and play the game very, very well together. The sun being the ego self, the core you, and your moon being your emotional reactions to things. I want to remind you of one thing that might trip you up sometimes, though, is that passive aggressive nature and the way that Pisces will defer to Scorpio almost always when it comes to getting your back got. Let me explain that. Meaning that you will refer to your emotional nature when the Pisces in you feel like she's being duped, she's being railroaded. And that can be a dangerous situation because if you refer to the moon in Scorpio to get you out of situations, that is a 0 to 60 type of reaction. You can be nice like a Pisces 1 minute and next thing you know, you got a match to the building. Like I'm for real on that. Like for real. So oftentimes you got to check your emotional reaction, and oftentimes the Pisces in you has to stand up. Although the Pisces don't want to do that. Pisces don't necessarily want to be the bad guy, the bad chick. I'm forgiving. I'm unconditional. They have a reason why they did things. Yeah, they do have a reason why, but some people are just stark assholes. And you don't have to respond with that vengefulness that Scorpio wants you to respond with, but the Pisces needs to recognize, yeah, they're assholes. I'm going to swim this way, without burning the building down. Does that make sense? Oh, what helps you though, for sure, is your rising, your Taurus rising. At least you got some kind of control on it because people never know what you're thinking. Taurus rise is so stoic and not like Capricorn rise. Capricorn rise is stoic too, but Capricorn rise always looks perfect. Like you will never catch me fucking sweating. You will never catch me sweating, Capricorn rise says, and you will never catch my slip hole dangling because I don't want to be judged. Taurus rise don't care nothing about being judged, but they definitely don't want you to see them off their square. So your rise is like stoic, move me, that bull, that tree, try to get a rise out of me. And then once they do, here comes that Scorpio moon. Watch out, motherfuckers. That's all I'm saying. Because it's opposite that rise. 0 to 60 out this bitch. Yo, Mary Hill, am I saying something or what? I'm just saying. Any specific guided meditations for this season that you can share with us? Links? Thank you for that question, Alicia. I do not have them, but I'll be honest with you, there's a plethora of guided meditations and sound vibration videos, anything that you want here on YouTube, that's for ding dong damn sure. And how about this? I want to challenge you, create your own. I oftentimes do. Create your own. I am a very unconventional teacher and a very unconventional, on some level, retreat facilitator. Why? Because I get us in the room and I give you an instruction and I say, go for it. Again, I don't like giving people, for the most part, detailed processing of what you need to do, because this is spirituality 101. There's no such thing in my mind. There's no such thing in my mind. I'm a big myself up, and not from an egotistical standpoint. I've been doing this thing on this journey since the early 90s. Since the early 90s, looking like a damn sore thumb in the middle of my family, in the middle of my friends, in the middle of the Face Records, in the middle of the music industry. Like, who the fuck is she? I've been making my personal path, my journey, my spiritual journey up along the way. I'm not saying that we all have the capacity to do it. I'm just saying, from my vantage point, it's best that we do, because it doesn't allow people to control you, and we can't put blame on them if it doesn't work. You understand what I'm saying? And there's another way of you figuring yourself out in the process of doing it. Does that make sense? Y'all with me? That makes sense, Alicia? Good. That's right, Susan. Taurus is your rising and Cancer is your moon. Giselle says Sonja's an OG. I am at 52 years old, 52 years young. And it hasn't been a very easy journey. My best friend since we were 6 is on here, Susan Lee, Sue Lee, and she could probably tell you best. But it has not been an easy journey for me, because I basically have looked like the outsider in a bunch of arenas in my life for decades. You know, I'm that one that will blow up the spot in the middle of the room and be talked about, because people are not ready to hear what's coming through. And again, it's not everybody's truth, but I have a different vantage point. I create my own spiritual journey on some level. And I'm honestly suggesting y'all do the same, because you're strong enough to do it. If you're listening to my voice, you're strong enough to do it. If you on here and you were led to this conversation, you're strong enough to do it. I'm just saying. All right. That's all I got for y'all. Because I feel like I'm just going to ramble. And I know you may want to hear me ramble, but I don't know what else to talk about. Not unless y'all have questions. Let me read this card for today. Can I do that? And please, I know there's a delay on here, so I'm trying to pause and take my time. But if you have any questions, now is the time to put them on up. Again, I'm offering an Eclipse special at $188. I don't know where that number came from. Spirit gave it to me. $188 for 60 minutes is lasting for the month of April. The link, the Calendly link, is in the description box below. Or if you just want to share this video because it resonates, put a thumbs up, a likes. I appreciate that. If you want to subscribe to the channel and you're new here, please do that. Or if you want to donate via Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, I'd really, really appreciate that for sure. Okay. Tracy said, yes, a card, please. Let's go on and do that thing there. That thing. Now, unless y'all have questions, I'm kind of stalling. Just waiting. See if y'all have any questions. Just waiting. See if y'all have any questions. Just waiting. Any questions? Just waiting. Nope. Okay. Great, Mother, Father, God. The Dreamer. Oh, you're welcome, Ty. The Dreamer, or the Dream. The Dream. I love my life. I love spirit. I love the fucking cohesion of this moment. The dreamer has everything to do with partnership. The dreamer has everything to wait till I read this shit. Has everything to do with that full moon in Libra that's still getting on us right now. Bust it. Oh my God. I love this, y'all. Oh my God. You're welcome, Mary Hill. Some enchanted evening, you're going to meet your soulmate, the perfect person who will meet all your needs and fulfill all your dreams, right? Wrong. This fantasy that songwriters and poets are so fond of perpetuating has its roots in memories of the womb, where we were so secure and at one with our mothers that it's no wonder that we have hankered to return to that place all our lives. But to put it quite brutally, it is a childish dream. And it's amazing we hang on to it so stubbornly in the face of reality. Nobody, whether it is your current mate or some dreamed of partner in the future, has any obligation to deliver your happiness on a platter, nor could they, even if they wanted to. Real love comes not from trying to solve our neediness by depending on another, but by developing our own inner richness and maturity. Then we have so much love to give that we naturally draw lovers towards us. Ah, Shay. Did we not just say that on some random pick a card, Osho card deck, freaking app situation? Like what? Come on now. Come on now. Did we not just say that? Y'all would think I purposely picked that. Truly. Oh, Nicole, did you hear me, Nicole? Osho's in, and it's free. It's my cards that I use during the my readings, but I got it on my phone now so I can offer some insight up for y'all. Come on now. Is that dope or what? No obligation whatsoever. It all goes back to you. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. This weird ass society has been giving us books since we were 3, 4 years old, showing us that with us in our long, luxurious blonde hair, we're gonna ride. Man is gonna ride on a horse and pick us up and take us to a faraway fucking land, and we're gonna live happily ever after with kids running around us and goddamn gnomes and fairies and shit. None of that is happening. Come on. It's a dream, in which is a cute little dream, but it ain't happening. Being in a relationship is work. And the first part of the work is seeing yourself, good, bad, and indifferent. So again, you can put that energy out to attract you, to attract it back to you. Come on now. All right, y'all. I'm done. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Prayerfully, something within this hour and 11 minutes, look at that, hits you somewhere in your heart, somewhere deep inside, that helps to turn your perspective around and allows you to see the dream that you need to have for yourself, you being the dream for you, like on some real shit. All right. You're most welcome, Tracy. You're welcome, D Stokes. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Have an awesome, awesome weekend, okay? Take care of yourself. Bye, everybody. Oh, and get on that retreat if you want to come. 2 spots are left, and on that Eclipse special. Okay. All the links are in the description box below. Adios, beautifuls.